I know we had some new arrivals, but my name is Jay Gross, and I'm co-president of the Shepherd Education Association. I represent Shepherd Public Schools tonight, though. And we had a heck of a time with contract over the last couple of years and stuff like that. And we're coming down into a hard time. And I came back with the award in front of our union. We were at an SEA meeting. And I said, Debbie and I came back from coordinating council, they've got this idea and we've taken this on. Can we get a vote out, put some names out, kind of come up with some ideas on who we'd possibly like to present this award to? And when we got done with the meeting, I didn't have to do like Survey Monkey, I didn't have to put a GDoc out and have people send in emails or anything like that. 7 of them came up and said, we were just talking to some people and we have this name for you. And they threw the name out and I watched about 7 or 8 people standing around me and it just reiterated like throwing a pebble into a pond, and everything was positive. It was 100% absolute unanimous. There was not a single person who would have seen it any way different. I talked to some of the people and I said, give me some insight. What do you see? Because I know what I see as a person when I start talking about Corey Grimm. And I live and die with technology. There's nothing in my life that doesn't have some aspect of it, whether it's bill paying, or it's teaching kids, or it's keeping score, or keeping my own finances. And I don't know how many times I've texted him, had to call him, or the old famous phrase you hear in the hallways of Shepherd High School, hey Corey, you just got a minute? And he gets this Cheshire Cat grin on his face. He goes, what can I do? You know? And he's probably, I've seen him carrying about a 60-pound G5 at times that he sets down in the middle of the floor. Without hesitation, he says, what do you got? You know, set it right there and walk into your room and play around with whatever he needs, and suddenly it works. What irritates me, though, he's kind of a scammer because he goes so fast doing stuff that we can't learn it. Therefore, he's always needed. Job security is what he's doing, because you don't teach teachers, they'll make you obsolete. But I started asking people, because I could stand up here and talk all day on some of the Corey stories I've got, some of the things that he and I have gone around, but I started talking to some people and I said, try to give me 3 words or less. If I say Corey Grimm, do the old Rorschach thing, what comes to mind? Here's what we got. I'll keep it PG-13, Corey, you brought your parents. Awesome, helpful, selfless, always smiling but hard to see behind the beard. 3 words, that's a teacher for you. The Hobbit, Star Wars, Trekkie, old Trekkie, not new. You don't talk about the new stuff. I was trying to remember the look on his face when I told him I watched the new Star Trek. It was like he had just taken bad medicine as a child, the way he looks at me. I apologize for the next one, Corey, but he's sexy. Brian Ross said that. I assume you know ahead of time. Deserving. I liked this one. Shepherd raised and blood in his veins. Needs to be in charge came up quite a bit as that went down. Oh, and this is so true. So dirty, sweaty, but lovable. We went through a lot of construction. He'd be covered in plaster, drywall. He'd be up running cords, just covered. And we didn't have air conditioning, but I don't know how many times, it was like a rat in the ceiling. You could hear, it was like a big rat. But it was, you'd hear him, he'd come down and he'd be shaking it off, the stuff in his hair, and there's always that smile from behind the drywall and plaster. Short and kind of hairy. Short, always has shorts with nice legs. A tribute to be awarded this award, an honor to work with. Always smiling, covered in mud and cow dew, but he even helped me with my computer when I took it to his house and came in from the fields. So that was pretty interesting because he was out doing cattle at the time, rubber boots covered up in the stuff, and he came in to help one of our staff who was having computer problems. A tech guru, a friend, a colleague, and here's the one I really like. He's just Corey. And if those of you that know him, it kind of sums it up, because he grew up in Shepherd, he went to Shepherd, he's come back to work at Shepherd, and if you want to see something interesting, when we thought for a second we were going to lose him to those people south of us, Ithaca, those Ithaca people down there, our rivals. I've never seen a staff, and I'm talking staff, K-12 administration, board, and parents come together to keep somebody here like they did Corey Grimm. And that says a lot, to keep somebody and not let him be stolen. And that's why we present him with a award that reads as follows. The Shepherd Education Association presents the award for the Outstanding Person in Education 2011 to Mr. Corey Grimm for his unselfish devotion and tireless efforts to the Shepherd Public School system. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to drop everything, to help, and for making a real difference in the lives of the students, teachers, and administration. It is our privilege to work with you. This takes him so far out of his comfort zone because he's one of the most humble people I've ever known, but I need Corey Grimm to come up and accept this award. I have the video camera playing, and no one's ever seen him in long pants before. So I have actual proof now that will be on the internet. So Corey, you deserve more than you do, but I'm going to take a wild guess that you don't want to do a speech. Is there anything you'd like to say? Thank you. That had to be painful to put pants on for this, I'm sure. 2 degrees outside, he's wandering around, got his shorts on, just smiling as could be. I think his face is numb, but Rick wanted to close off and come up and have some thanks. I know this is one of the last times Rick's going to be around as the Mount Pleasant president, so I have Rick Trainer coming in from Mount Pleasant.